What's up again, WrestlingFigz fans? And we're back with another quick video where we're going to be taking a look at the wrestling industry's most powerful family, the McMahons. So let's start this video off with the head of the McMahon family, Mr. McMahon. Now this figure is from the WWE Network Spotlight series and comes in this cool but simple packaging. On the side of the box we have a picture of Mr. McMahon himself. On the other side, the same picture, and on the back, McMahon again. And if you can't tell, this figure is actually based off of Mr. McMahon during the kind of Attitude Era when he was most famous for going against Stone Cold Steve Austin. You had the Corporation. It was one of the best times for wrestling and one of the best times for Mr. McMahon. Now the figure comes with two accessories. The first accessory is this black shirt that you can see in there, or maybe you can't see it. To be honest, it does look like there's supposed to be something there, but it's missing. When I first saw this figure on eBay, I honestly got worried that the seller had taken out a shirt or something, because, you know, from a distance, it looks like it's just an empty shell, you know, like there was meant to be something there. But if you look really closely, there is actually a black t-shirt in there. Now, I think it's really cool that you have a black t-shirt, because I think this figure needs a black t-shirt, but it's not an amazing accessory, so I don't think it should have been separated from the figure itself. I think the figure would have looked 10 times better with the shirt on anyway. Now the second accessory that we have in this packaging is the WWF, now known as WWE, Big Eagle Championship. And as I've said before, I love a figure that comes with a championship belt. And this belt is one of my all-time faves. Now as you can see, the belt has some really nice detail on there. Nice colors, it looks really good, it's got that nice shiny effect to it, so I think it's a really good accessory, and it's a really good accessory to have. Taking a look at the actual figure itself, it's very basic, but I think it looks really good. The legs are just those kind of trousers or pants if you're in the US, black suit pants, so nothing special there. His wrists and fists are taped up in black, and I feel like the likeness is pretty good. It's not the best Vince McMahon face scan I've seen, but I think it works really well. As for the torso and arms, I'm not really 100% on this one. I think it looks good, I think it looks about right, but something's just not right, you know? Maybe it's slightly too big. I can't tell whose torso this actually is, but I think it could be perhaps a John Cena torso that they've used. And looking at it a little bit closely, yeah, I think it is a bit too big to be Vince McMahon's torso. But back then, when he debuted this look, I think at the 1999, I could be wrong, Royal Rumble, he was really jacked, and it was actually really surprising to see how big Vince McMahon really was. So I think this figure works, the torso works, but it could be slightly too big, but it's not an issue for me. Now the next figure that we're going to be taking a look at is Vince McMahon's son, Shane McMahon. Now this Elite Flashback is a Ringside Collectibles exclusive and comes in this nice packaging with a picture of Shane McMahon on one side, Shane-O on the other side. No picture of Shane on the back, but it does have this mighty long bio on the back that talks about Shane McMahon and the look of this figure, when it's from, and what was going on around about that time in WWE. So if you want to pause and take a look at that, you can now. If not, we'll have a look at the figure. Now if you take a look at the back of the packaging, behind Shane McMahon, you can slightly see the King of the Ring logo, and that's because this figure is from the King of the Ring 2001, where Shane McMahon took on Kurt Angle. And if you remember that match, Kurt Angle suplexed Shane McMahon through a kind of glass wall with the King of the Ring logo on there. I think it took about 2 or 3 attempts to do so, and this figure actually comes with that glass panel. You can see it sort of slightly here and slightly there, and once you open the box you can put that together, and if you want you can throw Shane McMahon through it, or you can just have it on the background next to your entrance ramp, or just have it as a display piece, depending on what kind of collector you are. And that's the only accessory this figure comes with, but it's a pretty good accessory, especially when you take into account that this Shane McMahon is from that King of the Ring event, and he did go through that glass panel. Now the figure itself comes in these kind of black and white, I think like high top sneakers, and these really dark blue cargo pants. It also comes in the Shane McMahon jersey that he's famous for. Not only does it have Shane O'Mac written on the front, but it also has the tiny little WWE King of the Ring logo on there, which is a nice addition. As for the face scan itself, I'm seeing Shane McMahon, but at the same time, it does look a little bit weird. It looks like it could be Nunzio or Little Guido, if you know who that is. There's something about this Shane McMahon, it's got a kind of Italian look about it. And going back to that Vince McMahon, I think both these figures, Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon, have a kind of slightly Italian look about them. But I think the face scan is good enough. It does look like Shane McMahon. So yeah, we got two pretty good figures. Now the next figure that we're going to be taking a look at is Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon does have a couple of elite figures, but they're a more modern take on Stephanie McMahon. A couple of her looks from more recent years. Now, as you may know from the figures that I do have, like this Vince and this Shane, I'm a bit more of a fan of the Attitude Era and the kind of era that came slightly after that. So I've always wanted an Attitude Era, sort of DX Stephanie McMahon, and unfortunately, Mattel have never released that type of Stephanie McMahon as her own singular elite figure. But they did release it as part of Kurt Angle's Milkamania Epic Moments collection. So it comes in this cool little collectible packaging. We'll take a look what's on the inside in a second. But on the back, you got like the back of the doors. On the front, you have the front of the van. So it's made to look like it is an actual van, except on the back, where we have a nice picture there of Kurt Angle sitting on top of that milk float with his milk. And we also have this big description about the figure set here. And the only reason I do have this is so I could have an Attitude Era Stephanie McMahon. So let's take a look on the inside of the box and look at Stephanie herself. Now, as you can see, the front panel has that Kurt Angle's Milkamania sign on there with it's true, which is nice. And then when we look at the actual inside of the box, we have three pretty cool figures and a bunch of accessories. So let's look at the accessories first. Now this comes with 4 unopened milk cartons. It also comes with that little ice cooler box. It comes with not 1 but 2 open milk cartons and this long hose pipe type thing with milk coming out at the end. And if you want, you can hide the bottom of this piping around the back of this packaging and make it look like it's plugged in there somewhere, and have Kurt Angle spraying these other 2 figures. So let's take a look at Kurt Angle. Obviously he doesn't come in his wrestling gear, he comes in these sort of more casual clothes, which is nice. We got some trainers and some socks, some simple black shorts. But I guess the best part about this figure is this really cool Kurt Angle jersey. It also comes with one of Kurt Angle's Olympic gold medals. Again, just like his entrance greats figure, it has no detail on there whatsoever, except from the actual ribbon. The ribbon has the American red, white, and blue colors on there, unlike the entrance greats figure, which is all just blue. Now, looking at the face scan, it's one of those sort of screaming faces that I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. I prefer a more emotionless look, a smirk, a smile, or gritted teeth, but for some reason I'm not huge on these sort of shouting faces. But it is pretty good, I don't mind it. So we got a pretty cool casual looking Kurt Angle figure in there. Now taking a look at the Stone Cold, it's also got that casual look about it. Comes in boots, no knee pads or knee braces. These sort of like light blue shorts, jean shorts. Very short jean shorts actually. But that was what Stone Cold used to wear. The figure does come with an accessory. You got this WWE microphone. I think the face scan is pretty decent, but it's a sort of standard Stone Cold face scan, so we won't focus on that too much. For me, the one thing that I really like about this figure is this WCW shirt that it comes with. I think it's pretty cool to have a Stone Cold figure that comes in a WCW shirt, even if it is the WWE WCW logo that they used during the Invasion angle. But again, just like Angle, it's pretty cool to have a Stone Cold that comes in a casual sort of look. So we're looking at the McMahon figures, so let's take a look at Stephanie. He comes in these little shoes and nothing really going on the legs. I'm not sure if Stephanie was wearing shorts when it came to this segment or if she was wearing a dress. The way it's designed, it looks like this dress that she's wearing is like a one piece. Kind of looks like a swimsuit or something. So I don't know how accurate this look is. I can't really remember without looking it up. I'm pretty sure she was wearing a skirt. But whether she was or wasn't, you know, this look, it's not too bad, I suppose. Now, as you can see on the Stone Cold, the knee joints have that sort of double articulation. These women figures, even though they're elites, they only have a single piece of articulation there. And look at Austin's wrist. It has that wrist pivot action, whereas these women elites, they don't have that either. They just have the sort of like the twist and action. So these women's elites, they have a different design. They have a little bit less articulation, and the waist part is a bit different. But I don't take mine out of the box, so I won't see any difference when it comes to playing with them. The face scan on this Stephanie McMahon is pretty good. Her two later elite figures, they have a way better face scan. But this one's not too bad for that younger looking Stephanie McMahon. And if you're not a fan of this face scan, it comes with another head sculpt, which is supposed to represent milk-soaked Stephanie McMahon. So once Kurt Angle sprays all his milk all over Stephanie McMahon, yes, I'm aware that doesn't sound right. You know, she's supposed to have this sort of drenched hair, some of the makeup running down her eyes. So depending on how you want to display this set, I think it's a really cool touch to have that wet looking Stephanie McMahon. Now taking a look at the first head sculpt, it doesn't look as though there's any earrings on there, or you can see them at least. But when we take a look at the second one, you can actually see they have added the earrings in there for an extra bit of detail, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of this set. I really like this Stephanie McMahon. I just wish that Mattel would have released it on its own in this kind of packaging. I think this figure would have done really well. Maybe you could have added a DX shirt accessory, the woman's title accessory, or the little hat that Triple H used to wear, and she used to wear one too. You could have added that as an accessory. So I hope one day Mattel does release an Attitude Era or slightly post Attitude Era Stephanie McMahon Elite, and if they ever do, I'll probably end up getting rid of this box set. As I say, the only thing I like about the other two figures are the shirts they come with. I do like the Stephanie McMahon, but I think the actual thing itself is a bit big, and there's a lot going on just for that one figure that I wanted. So there you have it, guys. The McMahon family. The only figure that they're actually missing is a Linda McMahon. I'm personally not too fussed that they haven't made one. If they did, I would probably buy it, but I don't care if they never do. So what do you guys think? Which figure here is your favorite? Do you have a favorite Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, or Shane McMahon? Is it one of these three? You let me know in the comments. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. And don't forget to subscribe for more WrestlingFigz.